Hey. This is your girl, Charna Alexis. And today I want to talk about nursing and how nursing to me is a calling. I believe anything that you have a compassion for that God has willed you to do is a calling, but especially nursing because it takes just like any other job. Like we were all designed and made in God's perfect image, but I just feel like nursing is calling, and I feel like there's some like aesthetic now with nursing where a lot of girls are getting their nursing for the wrong reason. I feel like nursing is being put on this, what is the word I'm trying to say? Nursing is, you see the girl that, is sexy with the short skirt and there's an aesthetic to it, or it's being sexually symbolized. And I think, yeah, that's cute or whatever, but let's get into the guts of nursing. It can be very strenuous. It can be mentally, emotionally, and physically straining. It's a job that you just have to be compassionate about, and that you have to have a grace to come into this field. You just can't come into nursing and say, oh, I want to make all this money, because there's been some days where I don't care if they paid me $1,000 an hour. I was not going to work because I was just over it. I've been on 3 burnouts and, over the course of going on 20 years of my nursing. But one thing I'm hearing a lot of new nurses say is, how did you do it? Like, I won out. Like, I have a friend, she's been a nurse for 5 years, and she was like, I won out. Like, nope. And I hear, like, not all nurses now, but I'm hearing a lot of the nurses, and things have changed. Let me just add, my gosh, things have changed a lot compared to 20 years ago, because there was more structure to me. There was more discipline. And like kind of now, like in a lot of facilities, it's kind of like they're so desperate. They're hiring anybody. Anything goes for a body. And that's what I'm experiencing. I'm not saying that's what everybody else is experiencing, but that's what I experience. That like in these nursing homes and these assisted livings, people are just doing whatever they want to do because it's such a desperation because of shortages. And there's been times where I'm not a tattletale, but if something's wrong or bothering me, or if I feel like something needs to change, I'm going to say something. But I'm not the type that's always, I'm going to say something. Like, I'm not my business, but it's kind of like in some of these places, you might as well just keep your mouth shut, because they're not going to do anything, because they're so afraid to lose one of their employees that they're just going to just like, okay, we'll look into it. And then that person's still going to be there. They're going to throw it right under the rug. So, what I'm saying is you just have to have a grace. So what I've been telling my daughter is, she doesn't really know what she wants to do yet. Hold on, JJ. She doesn't know what she wants to be. She doesn't want to be in healthcare, but I just tell her, like, whatever you're going to do, you need to decide, like, first of all, you need to go to God in prayer, and you need to get clarity, and you need to make sure this is something that, if you're looking into something, this is something that you want to do. This is something that God is in his will, because there's a lot of times people waste their education because they're doing something that they think they want to do, and they waste all this time and they get into it and they realize that they don't want to do it. So if you're a person that's God-fearing and you believe in prayer, my best advice is go to God in prayer and ask him, Lord, if it's your will, is it meant for me to be in this area? And trust me, God is a God he will direct you in the right path. Is this something, is this somewhere that you want me to go? And if this is not where you want me to go, then I need you to give me clarity on where to go, because I've had some really hard days. And let me tell you something. I'm not trying to discourage nurses. We need good nurses. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to say, I'm trying to say, you want this hamburger? Cherish? I'm trying to say, just with your intentions, if you know without a shadow of a doubt, this is your calling, but investigate. Talk to people. Go to hospitals, go to nursing homes, look at the environment. Just get a really good feel of if this is what you want to do. And a lot of people that are CNAs, they're already in that world. It's gonna be sleep by the time it's done, Cherish. I'm not. Because you're already sleepy. But just know, I don't want anybody to like get into something like, it's not fair that they discover like, oh, this was not for me, or so that's all I'm saying. Like, if I could just go back to those particular nurses, I would tell them, like, just make sure this is something that you really investigate, not because everybody's doing it, not because it pays well, because at the end of the day, a lot of people that are rich off their passion and their purpose, not because they feel like a job. Okay, so something happened with my video, but all I was just saying is, just to make sure that you know and you research what you want to do, and most importantly, just ask God what you want to do, because more than ever, in nursing, the people are vulnerable, they're sick. They really need people that have grace, because some people can be very demanding, they're lonely, they can be bitter, they can be angry, they can be in pain. And you have to have a mindset of grace to not take those things personally. So there has to be a grace there. And so that's the only thing that I'm saying that is really a calling, because I look back 20 years ago and I was like, some of the scenarios that I've been in, I'm kind of like, how did I make it this far, and how did I make it this long? And it's not hard questions, because God's grace was on me. Because if it was up to me, I would have not went back to school at the time I went back to school. I'll get into that, but a very unusual thing happened. And sometimes God, people always say like, well, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes sometimes in the middle of like you just walking in whatever you're going through or living your everyday life, sometimes God will just one day just show you, and it'll happen so fast, what you're supposed to be doing, or he'll send destiny helpers, people to just come along out of nowhere and just plant this idea or just initiate something. So that's what I was saying. God is a God he's just awesome. And we'll be so worried, think about all these things, and he'll just do it in an instant. So that's what I was saying in a nutshell. But I was just about to end my video, and I just want you guys to be blessed, and I pray prosperity and abundance of your life, and that God will give you clarity in everything that you do. And I just pray for your health to be well, for you to be well in these times that we're living in, and that you just stay and seek the face of God, even when it is hard to even stand and to do so. I pray your strength in God, and your continued faith, and your continued peace. All right, till next time, Turner Alexis.